Hi, and welcome to Cujo Sound. This is a little bit of a different video than the previous ones because after the previous video that I did, a lot of people have been saying that they really like to see the approach that I had to that sort of sound design. But in the previous video, all I had was a sound that I had basically already made, and I just made a video about how that sound was done. In this video, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to explain the entire process from A to B and my entire thought process about this, because this is a sound that I haven't made yet and I'm going to be creating it. And instead of creating this video after the sound has been done, I'm going to try to create the video as I move along. So this will be recorded as all my thoughts and attempts will come along. I don't know how long this video will be, but we'll see. So what I need is a breathing sound, and I need some sort of attack sound from a monster in DARQ. As you may know, DARQ is being wrapped up. So what we're doing is that we are polishing all the sounds that are currently in the game. Some of them needs to be replaced, some of them needs to be fixed. And we're fixing issues such as a sound may be too much panned to the left because it's a 3D emitter, has a too short attenuation. We're solving that as a bug. Or the other way around, sounds that we actually want to be panned are not panned because it uses some sort of standard attenuation. And what we have in DARQ is that we have a lot of monsters and things going on. You may have seen them in the trailers and other places, and there's also a lot of them that hasn't been revealed yet, so I'm not exposing any of that. But all those sounds, they have been made by me, myself, and my weird mouth here in my studio, or they have been made by my kids, because my kids apparently make weird paperback wrapped face noises whenever when they're completely normal. That's what they do. No, actually my daughter had a cold at one point, and she was snoring while sleeping, so that's one of the noises that we used quite a lot. There's also a couple of other sounds that we then blended together. We also used a lot of Reformer Pro, the tool that I'll be explaining probably in the process in a little bit, because we're going to be using that. And I used that to create libraries of noises that I could then poke and trigger through Reformer Pro. And we'll get to that. So now let's get to my thought process and explain a little bit about what I actually need. So like I said, what I need is a breathing sound, some sort of loop, and an attack sound of some monster. And previously, the sounds I had made, like I said, by me or my kids, they had just been layered sounds through Reformer Pro, or layered sounds me, pitched down, pitched up, and on top of each other with different reverbs and so on, to sort of create this layer of weird noises. Hopefully you can hear them whenever you play the game. Just think of me making up weird noises as I sit here in front of my microphone. So the breathing loop, one of the approaches that I think I will go with this time is we want this to be sort of animalistic. So I need to come up with a way to make this sound animalistic. And I might need to dig into my library and find some animal sounds that I combine stuff with. We also have Reformer Pro. We also have Transformizer that I might be using. But I also think that one of my most used tools that I've also shown in one of my previous videos is keFIR, which is basically the most simple 1-second impulse response filter you can add to any sound. The problem with keFIR is that it's extremely CPU heavy, so you can't just have as many of them as you want on anything. You really need to know what you're expecting as an end result before you start batching out, because it really takes a while to render these, especially if you have 2, 3, 4 versions of the tool running at the same time. Impulse response upon impulse response, it's really slow. And if you have a really long file with someone talking, like right now, it's going to take a while. But that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to be recording some normal breathing, check out my library and see what I can find, and then create this Lego material library, as I've also spoken about before. And then from that library, I'll sort of like build my thing. So let's get to it, and I'll record some breathing. And don't be afraid, I'm not sick or anything. I might just sound like it when I'm breathing. But normal breathing, maybe heavy breathing, attack breathing, and some attack noises and so on. The point of showing that is that you might notice that these sounds might be noisy, they might be weird, they might be very like not crisp in production. They might be very roomy because I'm sitting in this not super well acoustically treated room right now where I'm talking. But that's okay. We can keep that and then try and see if we can utilize that later in the process of how we're going to be creating something. So first, let's record some breathing. All right, before this video gets too long, which is something that I noticed while editing, I'm going to split it into two, and this is the end of part one. Second part, we'll get into how we do all our editing and how all these things are put together. Thank you for watching this part one. If you really like this video, why not watch the next one? And if you really like it, why not hit the like and subscribe button and go to patreon.com/Cujo Sound, where you for as little as $1 a month can help me sustain this channel and help me avoid the time I take off to create all this content. I would really, really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Bye.